Welcome to my cabin. I am here in upstate New York and I'm going to take you on a tour of my cabin, and here's the before, so stay tuned. So as you see, the outside of my cabin, it has a very low roof, and on the inside the ceiling is quite low, like I can reach my hand up and touch the entire ceiling the whole way through. So that's been quite of an adjustment when I live in a home back in Texas that has 10 feet ceilings. The outside of the cabin is kind of plain, and there's nothing that exciting about the outside of the cabin, but it has some charm to it, and I think there's a ton of potential. So I think we're going to be painting the cabin, and we're going to try to figure out something a little funky. We also have to figure out a name for the cabin, so that's something that we're still pondering. We're not quite sure what it's going to be. I'm thinking that I can add some kind of decor on the outside of the cabin. I mean, perhaps we can do something like having to do with, lake life, like maybe some canoe oars, maybe some buoys. I don't know. I've just kind of been racking my brain as to how can we zhuzh this up and make it a little bit more fun, besides just adding a new color scheme to the outside of the cabin. So inside the cabin, it's kind of plain. I mean, it's all been newly renovated. The house was built in 1965 and was just renovated in the past few years. So everything has been fixed inside here with new flooring, new walls, new wood everywhere. I guess my goal is to not paint any of the wood. It's so tempting to do that, right? But I want to keep the main look of what a cabin looks like. I only add some whimsy to it. And that's really the problem I'm trying to solve here. How do I do that? As I look around this interior part here, as you walk in the front door, it is just, a very big open room, which is great because it doesn't feel chopped up. Even with a low ceiling, it doesn't feel like a tiny space. The cabin's only 950 square feet, and it does have 3 bedrooms, but the bedrooms are very small or very awkward. Now, our bedroom basically has enough room for a bed in it. I mean, like if I came up with like a small corner hutch, I think something like that might work. I mean, it's possible, but a big issue here is storage. We don't have any closets. They're just rooms. And so I've got to figure out, how do we store clothes for 3 months? So those are the things I'm thinking about. The bathroom is quite an adventure. I've never been in a shower this tiny. So that is something to get used to, it, as well as a super tiny sink. So I've kind of reverted to washing my face in the kitchen sink so far. We'll see if we end up replacing the vanity or not. I'm not sure. The smallest bedroom in the house is on the other side of our bedroom. The bathroom sits in the middle. And I thought I could get a full-size bed in here, and I probably could, but it would take up the whole room. So I opted, if I do put a bed in here, I'm going to do a twin. The other option is, do I make this like our closet and office? Because it is big enough for a desk, and I could put like a clothes rack in here. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this room, but as all my design plans go, I kind of make it up as I go and see what we need. It could either turn into a bedroom or a closet or an office. Not sure exactly what I want this bedroom to be. In this long bedroom, one of the problems, and I measured because I knew what mattresses, how the size of them. And so I was thinking, oh my gosh, we can't even get a queen bed in here. I was hoping we could get 3 queen beds in this place. No, our room has a queen bed. Every other room is either going to have a full-size bed or just a twin bed. So this long room can only handle a full-size bed if you want to be able to get out on the sides of the bed. That's part of the issue, is that there's not room. Like I could put a queen bed here, but it would take up from wall to wall. So to get out of bed, you'd have to scoot yourself to the bottom of the bed and then get out. So that's not really ideal. So we have this little utility closet. It's the only closet we have in the whole space. Absolutely crazy, right? But this utility closet back here is not it's tiny. It's got a really ugly hot water tank right in the front of it. So one of the problems I'm going to try to solve here is, how do I cover that up but still make it feel like it's got a little bit of space and it's not too tight. The kitchen actually has tons of cabinets. Like that is one thing I'm thrilled about. Like we've even been putting some of our clothes into the drawers in the meantime before we get all our dressers situated and everything. I mean, we're trying to figure it out. Like we don't like to live in a mess. We like both of us really like things to be organized and kind of put away, but functional. So part of the stress of your first time in a place is figuring out your systems, right? We're trying to figure out what is our system, like where's our junk drawer going to be, because everyone has a junk drawer, right? You know, you always have to have a junk drawer. Where's it going to be? What's the convenient place? What makes sense? Like should should our coffee maker be on this counter, on the other counter? Should we put some floating shelves up? The appliances are brand new. They're not high end or anything, but they're workable and they're doable. And the top of the oven actually works really great. So I'm happy with it. It's basic, but it's all I need. I also feel like this kitchen needs to have a chandelier somehow over the kitchen table. So I'm working on that. So we'll see if it actually comes to be or not.
Now, one of the things I haven't talked about is the size of the lot, and it's not quite an acre, but it's 2 lots, actually, and one thing I haven't mentioned is we have a little shed out back. Now, this shed needs some renovation, it's got some rot along the bottom, the inside is not very functional, so you're gonna have to stay tuned to see what we end up doing to this. I would like to have a little workspace, so with my husband and, so we're gonna be working on that, hopefully, and we can have that done by the end of the summer. But look at how many amazing trees are on this property. It really is super ideal.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this tour of the cabin. Next week, come back because I'm going to talk about my design plans. And here is a clue of the direction I'm going. It's going to be circus chic. So, whatever you think that means, you're going to find out what it means to me next week. And I cannot wait to show you my design plans and how I'm putting things together and how I'm kind of letting things happen as I think about them too. So, stay tuned for that. I'll be back.